Yo, what's up? I am Big Will, also known as Thunder109050, formerly on Smogon, currently on Pokemon Perfect. If you've seen me around, if you've seen that name around, that's me. I am here today. Let me turn my music down just a little bit more. Hopefully that's fine. I saw in the ADV community Discord a couple days ago, maybe it was yesterday, I don't fucking remember. But I saw somebody say that they would like some more like team building style content instead of ladder style content. And so that is what I'm here to provide for you today. It's kind of in the vein of like those old BKC videos, or those old, I don't actually know off the top of my head if he's made multiple, but there was at least one old BKC video where it was called like 10 ADV teams or something, and he just sat down, built some ADV teams, talked about the metagame, and that's kind of like what I'm setting out to do here. Side note, I am fresh out of spending 40 minutes in the Taco Bell drive-thru. I was fucked up as hell, but I'm back now, and I feel like Baja Blast. Feel like playing some Pokemon. Not playing, but like just, thinking about it. I think it's interesting. So either way, let's get into it. So I think for this first team here, Untitled 133, I'm thinking, oh man, I should probably tell y'all, one of my primary influences and the person who taught me the metagame is, of course, none other than Super Epic Ampharos. For those of you who've seen, I do still tend to have some of the same beliefs as him. For those of you who've seen his VR, it's not like that, man, I swear. I'm not like him in those ways, but yeah, so I think for this first team I want to try something I don't normally do, which I think I'm going to try to use a team with Fortress. Now Fortress is I'll show you, well, I don't really want to dox my ADV builder, but I will say I use vast majority Skarm. I am one of the people who believes that there is one Spiker in the tier, and it is Skarmory. I don't even particularly, well, outside of Smeargle, sometimes I think Smeargle's a good suicide spiker. I've tried to use Glalie before. I think as well, Glalie can be okay. It's just weird. Not very good for the most part though. I'm not the biggest Cloyster fan either. So when it comes down to it, when I'm picking a spiker for my teams, I usually just put a Skarm on. But this is also kind of a departure for me because I'm not used to doing like speed building. I'm used to more just, I take a long time to build teams, but I think what ends up coming out is usually pretty good nowadays, which is good. One thing that I do like is Fori with another spinner, so either Claydol or Starmie, one of those two. We could go with Starmie. I've been thinking about this set for a while, actually. I don't know if it really does everything I want it to, but I've been thinking about Surf Psychic, Fatme for a while, like Psychic in the utility slot, like where Ice Beam or T-Wave normally goes, because you want Surf, Recover, Rapid Spin, of course, and then the last move. I usually use Ice Beam when I use Fatme, but a lot of people that's because I run my Fatmes super fast as well. I run them usually in the 330 to 340 range, which I know is not typical. A lot of people run Fatme a lot slower, and some people just run straight up max HP, max speed. That's not me. I prefer a little special attack investment. But yeah, I think This still does fine in Agar if it outspeeds it, right? So Angar's almost never ever 350. Like 350 Gar's just kind of tossing. So I think if I run like 337 or so, that should be fine. 336, 337. I might end up going up or down later. We'll see. And then max HP and 96 special attack. That's actually not bad. That's more than I was expecting. Sometimes I go really fast, and it's like I go to about here, or here even. because it's right above a jump point, and then 40. This spread is pretty good. This guaranteed outspeeds all Gengars, but I don't. There's no real reason for it, because the only other things that are hitting 350 are like Tauros and Espeon and Jumpluff, and I guess it actually is decent insurance for Jumpluff. Actually, Jumpluff is a very annoying Pokemon. Having something that outspeeds it and can one-hit KO it is pretty helpful. So yeah, I think I actually will run it pretty fast. Run it around there. Yeah, I know Jumpluff isn't super common, but feels like I always lose to it when I run into it. I don't know if that's just me getting fished or what. But we'll put Rapid Spin and Recover on this. I think the next thing we're going to want is probably, well, I think I'm going to run this set. Earthquake, Boom. And since we have an extra slot now, it's either Bug or Ghost. I don't know. I like Ghost's ability to hit Gengar, because Gengar is a lot of the time what comes in on 40. But the thing is, Bug gives it a positive matchup against the Spinners, which is super helpful. What we could do is we could run Bug plus Suitar. That could be pretty good. I think I like that. And then, so Suitar also gives us Sand, which is another thing I was looking to include. I think, so this is Spikes. This is looking pretty balancy so far. I think the next step is to add something that can switch into Fire, Electric for the most part. Those are the two things that are going to be threatening these two Pokemon the most. So we want to add something like, I've seen people go Claydol would help here. I'm going to leave Rindevelf, but Claydol would help here. But I already have a Starmie, so there's no real need. So I think the logical answer is probably a Blissey. Since we have Rapid Spin, I actually like that. Trying to think if I could put Psychic on. I don't think Psychic is worth fitting. You do enough with Surf anyway, and one, Psychic probably doesn't kill Gengar if it's defensive. It probably does like 85 or so. Two, you do enough with Surf anyway to the point where it's a non-issue because Gar can't recover on you. And three, or Gar can't recover at all actually with Sand Up. And three, we need, this set needs to be able to check Ments as well. Or I like it to check Ments as well, which is part of the reason why it's here. In particular, it's good at checking it's pretty good at checking Mix Ments because it can switch in on anything and revenge it. It's also fine at dealing with DD because it should live any +1 hit. The one problem is I should probably calc this because I don't actually know off the top. This is deep. That's the DPP calc. I was playing some DPP earlier, but the one thing I don't know off the top of my head is if people are running like the 188, does Ice Beam kill? It's a roll. If I was 96, what would the roll be? It's a little better, but if they go up to 212, it's still a roll. Okay, so something to think about then is probably having some kind of way to get chip on Ments. Like, suiting Ments is super nice. Like, if they're... The Ice Beam will guarantee kill Mixed Ments, but the Ice Beam will not guarantee kill DD. Well, hold on. How much am I taking from +1 hits? This is going to be around 385 or so, if it's that set. I'm living everything comfortably. Well, comfortably, but it's a roll to kill back. I mean, it can work. It's just, I might need a secondary, like, Intimidate or something. I was thinking of putting a Ment on this team anyway, so that's probably good. Oh, Blissey's also. Blissey is where I think this team is going. I think Ments... I think I'm going to finish this with Meta Ments as well, personally. So I think this looks pretty solid. I think this Ments is going to be DD. And I think this meta is just going to be super fat. Bliss, I think, should be... what do I want in the third slot? I for sure want T-Bolt Ice here. Because I need something to deal with Skarm. Team is not good at dealing with Skarm at the moment. Oh, well, I'll have Fire Blast Sutar as well. That is... Okay. Yeah, I'll have Sutar, Fire Blast as well. I'm gonna... Do I want to lead with it? Yeah, it's probably fine. Other option is lead Mence, which can kind of disguise what build we are. If they don't lead, with a Tar, we can bluff CB and stuff too. I think generally I've seen a lot of people lead Mence on 4E builds, so I have no real reason for it other than that, but let's just do it. Also because, well, actually, hold on. Because there's a chance we could be cool. We could run Brick Break DD Mence here. If we have other ways of beating down like Rachi. Otherwise we need to be Earthquake. I think this should be Fire Blast Focus Punch for one. Right? Yeah, this sits on Swampert all day. We can be Fire Blast Focus Punch. Fire Blast Grass might be a little better, actually. This is where I would love Grass meta, but I need it. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll just run AQ. Sorry, I went on like 6 different tangents there. Just thinking about like a million different things at once, but DD, HP Flying, Rock Slide, and Earthquake. Okay, so this unfortunately means we're 90% of the time going to be switching out of Tar turn 1. Outside of like just random staying for mix-up value, I guess. But that's fine for the most part, because we can go what's our game plan tournament against Tar? I think we don't want to go Tar 4E ever. Doesn't work the same as Tar Skarm, because 4E gets melted by Fire Blast from next or some special. So our game plan against Tar turn 1 is, I guess we can go Me. Yeah, Me is pretty safe, I think. Me also covers Skarm to an extent. Okay, that's not too bad. I think Mence Me is okay. I think no Bolt is gonna really hurt us if that's the early game interaction we're looking for, though. What else could we do? Maybe I have a better idea. We replace Meadow with Pert. And we put T-Bolt over Ice here. That's better. Yeah, that's much better. I do think it either needs to be Roar or it needs to be Focus Punch. Or it could be like the Surf Focus Punch Roar Protect thing. But it needs to have Ice Beam. That's the thing. Like, if we're dropping Ice here, we need to have Ice here. That's, God, that's so annoying. I could just hold the L and be DD Mence weak, but God, I just want, like, I'd rather just have this, honestly. And then, so meta needs to be like the Rock Resist set, I think. Is there a world in... No, I don't think so. Right? Is there a world in which Claydol is better here? Probably. But I think I value this speed tier, Ice Beam, and Recover a little bit more.
Hey, what's poppin', guys? It's Gami. Thank you for checking out the beat again.
Fuck is this? This is whack as shit. I do not want to hear about your new rap challenge, man. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll hop on though. You never know. You never know. I know I sound white as fuck, but that's something we're just gonna have to figure out, I suppose. All right, so I think this is fine. Let's finish this up real quick. I think I want Toxic on Bliss. Right? Yeah, it's either Toxic or Seismic Toss. Those are the two options. I think Toxic is good. It does mean we're set up bait for Lumtar. What is the plan versus Lumtar on this team? Because I have a 4E instead of a Skarm, so I need a little bit better of a plan. We lay spikes, and then does Starmie live one? From Lumdiditar, +1. It actually does. Okay. So that's not too bad. That rule is not correct though. Should be 44. I think unless I moved it back. No, I didn't. Okay. So this actually will never kill. It's awkward. I need to make. I can't drop HP either. Is the thing. I can drop speed down to 332. I have 116. Does that? How does that look roll wise? That gives me a decent chance to kill with 3 spikes, 37.5. 37.5 and we still live is not bad. It needs to be at full though. You can always just go meta, I guess, after. Like you can sack something and go sack something for chip and go meta. No, I'm gonna go back to fast. This is just super DD-tar weak right now. I can remedy that by dude, Brickments would be so helpful on this. Where can I shore up for Brickments? Yeah, I'm gonna go Brick over EQ, and then so EQ, no EQ makes us a little weaker to meta. It's a little weaker to steals, so Meta Rachi are the big ones, and yeah, Meta Rachi are the big ones. So I think in that case, is it better to have something else over this Blissey, like a Celebi maybe? No. Because the issue is I need something that can. I need things that can. This team is super Rachi weak all of a sudden now. Meta, if it doesn't get burned, does fine. Yeah, I guess this is okay. My other option is like Flygon in this slot, which I guess is fine, but it doesn't. It's not the greatest because this team is already super loose to Scarm, and so we don't want to add to that. Yeah, see, this is a situation where I think being Scarm over 4 would be helpful, because you really want Brickments on this team. You really want Brickments on this team to actually threaten T-Tar with damage early game. And to threaten an Oko, basically, instead of threatening a... Like, does it Oko, actually? If it doesn't Oko, this is probably not worth it at all. We just have to hold that L. That Tar's just going to be hard. Okay, Brick does Oko from max attack. So from 385, it's pretty. After 1 spike, it's an Oko. Guaranteed. Yeah, that's so good. Okay, so meta is pretty manageable with me, I think. The main issue for this team is Jirachi, which you could argue like Earthquake in the last slot, I suppose. Fire plus what could we do? I guess Fire Blast Bliss, or actually T-Wave Bliss could be helpful. Or the other issue is you have to not get burned on meta. Like, ever. Okay, so I'll come back to that idea a little bit later, but I think generally for now I'm gonna just punch in some spreads, and it's not perfect right now by any means, but I think we're doing okay to start. Yeah, it's just a little Rachi week is all, which is definitely solvable with spin. It's definitely solvable. There's an argument for this being Mixments too, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, Mixments is probably better here, actually. Mixments definitely helps with Rachi. All right, we'll switch it to Mixments. Dragon Claw. Fire. Blast. And then, so then the general idea is you try to kill Bliss with spikes up. Yep, okay. I generally prefer plus speed on my Mixments. I know that's maybe not the most common opinion, but I know a lot of people really do like plus special attack, but I am partial to plus speed personally. So I'm gonna make this just like that. Max HP, max special defense. We'll throw 4 in speed just for shits and giggles, I guess. And then we'll go careful. For me, we already have the spread. Tara, I'm gonna come back to. Bliss last move is of course gonna be soft. I just never put it on. I think on this set we want modest. Yeah, we'll go modest. And then that'll be fine. Meta, I'm gonna go max HP. And then I generally hit around. I try to hit around 370 or so attack adamant. That's a little high. Oh, we can rock with 378. That's fine. And then I like a little speed as well. Usually, I like to get out of the like the Scarm range so that you can mash twice on switch in. So yeah, I need to finish this. Okay, so this kind of yeah. I think this team is kind of an example. I will say I think this team is kind of an example of of like the reasons why you want Fori over Scarm. I'm gonna run about 200 or so speed. That should get us out of everything below it. All of the metas and other tars and Scarms, etc. that are below it. That should be enough. Let's go. Oh, we can go minus attack. It's fine. Focus punch damage is already gonna be fine on Bliss. We'll go timid. Max special attack. Oh well, actually I want Dug Bulk, so that's max HP. It's gonna do no types of damage to anything now is the thing. So I think in that case, just go max attack. How much should this leave us at? Modest. We can drop down to about here. I think that should be okay. And then this should allow us to live some stuff. Okay. So yep, this is. I'm gonna call this. I'm just gonna call it Forest Risk. This is the only Fori I've ever built with. I think this is. It's a little Jirachi weak still, but I think it's perfectly playable in its current state. An easy fix I think would be making this Pexcarm and this Fizztar. But hey, I think either is. I think the point of that team was to build with Fori. So okay, for this next one, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna try to speed up a little bit as well. I spent way too long on that last one just thinking about bullshit. So I'm gonna try to speed up a little bit, but. I think what I'm gonna do for this next one is I'm going to put on anything. What is interesting down here? I did build a team with Subtoxic Raikou the other day, and that was the lead set, the Roro lead set. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And honestly, okay, I think for this team. Let's let's start with a Zapdos. Not quite sure what Zapdos set I want yet. Generally, I like to pair Zapdos with spikes. So I think I'm gonna put a Scarm on this one, and then I think we can Zapdug. That's fine. So the thing that I think about Zapdug is it kind of relies on your opponent making a defensive switch to Blissey against your Zapdos, which isn't always going to be happening. I do think the archetype is pretty valid. I think it's Gar. I think it's pretty it's definitely like super useful, especially because when you dug a special wall like Celebi or Blissey, all of a sudden you start to open up like, it's not just special attackers. Like once Blissey dies, you open up like your DD-Ments as well. I wish I could finish this with DD-Ments DD-Tar, but can't. I need a Scarm Beater, so I'm gonna put on. I have a Zap and a Gar, but extra insurance for Sfat is never bad. Taunt, since we have a Doug, I can go DD Taunt. And then I'm gonna make this a little fatter, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna make this a little fatter so that it can do 2 dances. I think that's good. And then in the last slot here, I think I'm going to put on something that can rock resist. Pert could be good. I like Pert, yeah. Pert is also offensively very threatening. I think. Okay, so I think this team needs Explosion on Gengar for sure. Like, for absolute certain. I think that's pretty true. I like Explosion. I like Wisp. I like T-Bolt. And I like Explosion, Wisp, T-Bolt, Ice. A lot of its utility on this team is going to come simply from it being a Ghost type, I think. Honestly, we could make this Ice Zap, and we could go like something like this. That could be pretty cool. T-Bolt, D-Bond, Wisp, Boom. This set is pretty powerful. I keep typing in Boom and getting Boom Burst. I'm not personally a fan of dropping Ice. I did see a cool tech today where somebody used Brick Breaker. That was pretty cool. I think it was Micmer. Yeah, I think it was Micmer. It was a series versus Zomog for Kalus's team tour. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I don't know if it's all that good, but it's pretty cool. D-Bond is cool. You might honestly consider Nightshade. No, Ice Punch is too good. You have to have Ice Punch. With no Ice Punch Gar, you're so Zap weak. Yeah, this is super duper Zap weak. This has to be pretty specially bulky Zap, I think. With Sub, T-Bolt, Ice, and Baton Pass. And then this has to be Spikes. What? Uproar? Hello? I tried to type in Toxic, and it gave me Uproar? Am I just that bad at typing? I guess I'm just really shit at typing, huh? Alright, so this, as it stands, is pretty Zap weak. How could we solve this? We could put on... we could replace the Doug, honestly, with, like... We don't need to Zap Doug. Like, we could replace the Doug with, like, a Claydol. And all of a sudden, this is pretty cool. Doll gives us a little extra rock resist power. Well, hold on. The main problem is we need something that can buffer Zapdos, right? Since this is offense, we need something that can buffer electric types. So Doll is pretty good at that. What else can do that? Not using Steelix, so I'm not like that. Flygon kind of can, if it's not Ice. Celebi also kind of can. And we are missing a true water resist right now. So I think Celebi is pretty good here because it gives us a pivot into... It gives us a Hydro Pump pivot as well. I'm a big fan of CM Leech Celebi, but I think here it has to be CM. I think Lead Subzap is fine here still, but I might go T-Wave. I'm not sure yet. People... The one thing is now, of course, this is... I mean, on Bliss, I can always just go Skarm and get my spikes up. It's a little Bliss weak now, so I think I am going to replace this Pro with a Meta and just roll with it. I think that's just fine. Mash, EQ. I keep taking Boom. Why do I do that? Explosion and Protect. And I'm just going to use a pretty similar spread to the last team. So we're going to go max HP. I'll go a little less attack, I think. I'll go a little less speed, a little more attack. I think that's... I don't want 0. I think 8 is fine because you outspeed min Skarms then. Yeah, that's fine. This is a little fatter than the last team, but I think it's still quite good. For this Tar, I think speed-wise, we want to be around 2... We need to be outspeeding Arrow after 2 DDs, for sure. So 198 is the absolute slowest we can go. I think... Because that puts us at 396, yep. So 197 will not. So 198 is the absolute slowest we can go. I tend to favor around 201 to 202. And then... We need Doug Volk for sure. So let's calc this. Doug Trio. Dude, how am I this bad at typing? This is insane. Tyrant, Tar. That's... I mean, you live, but can you go down HP and still live? Like, how low can you go? Because that's less attack than... You can go down to... like 192 HP. I like that more. I like more attack personally. I think more attack on DD Tar is never a bad thing. Yeah, like look at the difference, 355 to 372. Like you're not like you hardly notice a difference, I think, without that. That's cool. So Taunt will allow us to get multiple DDs easily. This lets us live Doug as well. If we DD on their switch to like Skarm and then we taunt, all of a sudden this thing just beats the shit out of Fat and it's awesome. Okay, I think as well it remains a little Skarm weak, but with the addition of this, that will fix it. That should be the last piece we need to really feel fine against Skarm. So anything, it's a little like Milo B weak, but it's fine. We'll just run some special attack on Zapdos. I actually think, hold on, I think I'm gonna change this. Since we have Gar, I need Zapdos like Mixed Ments is the thing. I have a B Toxic Skarm, Wisp there. Yeah, I don't feel too bad into Per. I think I'm gonna do this actually. I'm not a big fan of T-Bolt of. God, it's just like this helps us for Celebi so much, but I can also just mash it and ice it and set spikes. Yeah, it's not too bad, I guess. It's not too bad, I guess. There might come a time where this team wants like a Molt instead, though. Let's think about this for a second. So, Zapdos, what does Zapdos do for us? Zapdos, it beats Skarm, it beats Suicune, it beats... I would make this Grass, so it would help a lot versus Swampert. It would give us chip on like Claydol, Flygon, etc. T-Bolt is a great stab, so then we switch it to... Dude, shut the fuck... I don't care about your beat challenges, man. I'm sorry. But I think... So... If I switch it to Moltres, what happens? Oh, good. This is not the wave, man. I'm sorry. Probably much better. Okay, so if I switch to Moltres, what happens? We gain Roar. We melt through Celebi and stuff, but we lose access. Yeah, we can't switch this. I think I'm gonna make this T-Wave. We can hold the L because we have Boom Ice Scar. We have this might need to be DD. This might need to be Bugtar. I want it to be DD Taunt, but it might have to be Bug. Yeah, I'm gonna make it Bug, I think. Okay, this is fine. I like bulky DD Tar here still. There's a chance Jolly's just better now, but we have so many Doug punishes, honestly. I'm gonna make this Jolly now. I liked Fat DD Tar when it was Taunt, but I think I am just going to make this standard Jolly now. Okay, so that's fine. So I need to make some spreads. Zapdos, I want a lot of special attack on. Celebi, I'm gonna go around here. How much speed do I want to hit on this team? Oh, I'm gonna hit like 310 or so. Yeah, 310 should be fine. Then of course I'm gonna go max actually, and then rest in HP, so that'll be 68. That's not too bad. So then of course, being on Scarm, we're just gonna go standard. Fucking, y'all already know what this is. 24. Oh my god. Gar. I'm not sold on this. The other reason why Peck would help on either of these is for fighters. Especially on Zapdos. Peck nullifies fighters completely. Fighters do a little bit versus this team currently, which is a little annoying. Meta is fine for the most part, so it shouldn't be the worst thing ever. But I may end up having to trade my Gar into them, which is a little annoying. What could I run over Whis? To be like Heracross. I think it's fine, honestly. The other option is like D-Bond over Wisp, but Wisp is so helpful versus like... Wisp actually gives you an out versus like... If we were still Doug, I would consider D-Bond, but Wisp actually... You know what? Fuck it. We'll make this D-Bond. D-Bond gives you an out, a secondary out versus Heracross with no Peck Zap, no Peck Scarm. Actually, you're fast Psychic me. What am I saying? You don't need that shit. You're fast Psychic me with Sand. Like, the game is already over. I'm switching this to Lum if it's back DD-Tar on this team. As for Zapdos speed, I generally like mine in the 280s. The slowest I would go is 280, I think. But I honestly, I like any range in here. I generally run mine around the lower half, so like 284, so 283, 284 and 283 on this team. Just to get a little bit more creep than normal. And then we'll run a little special defense as well, so that we have a little less trouble switching into Starmie. I want to make it so I can switch into an Ice Beam. So versus Starmie, Off Star. Ice Beam does a nice amount. Nice amount is, well, not really what I want to be hearing, but it's fine. So we'll go up to 343 HP, and if I need to go more, I can. That's a little much, honestly. I know I'm gonna be. This could just be straight up Spit F Zap with that much speed. Honestly, I don't mind that. Like if we run like a little special attack, max HP. hold on. So I need to hit 283. I'm wasting EVs here. 283. Yep, I am. Okay. How's 252, 116 versus this? Much better. Okay, nice. So with lefties, with sand, it's a little annoying. Right? With sand... Oh, with sand, it still works. Okay, cool. It should still work with sand in theory. Okay, so this is... should be fine. I can also drop just a little bit of attack and go up to 152 from 116. Okay, all right. Yeah, that'll be just fine. I'm not a whole lot of special attack, but it allows me to actually defeat. It allows me to switch into off me ice beam, which is all. It makes it so I don't have to don't get super destroyed by off me. Okay, so last spread I need to do is Gengar. Gengar, I have a spread I typically go with. Yeah, Men's Bulk on this team is going to be relevant. Yep, Men's Bulk on this team will be pretty relevant. And then we'll go... I don't really like running minus attack, but I think it's like a necessary evil. We'll go 331 and then 36 special attack. That's how I typically run my Gengars. If I need Men's Bulk. Otherwise, I invest a lot in special defense. But I think on this team, the Men's Bulk is pretty relevant, given no Ice Zap, etc. That's another thing Sped Up Zap helps with. It helps switch into Mixed Ments. But I think we should have enough of a buffer versus that if we keep Tar healthy as well. So this team, I'm going to call... What should I call this team? This is pretty standard offense, but it looks cool. So I'll call it Cool Offense. It is pretty cool. Okay, so that was significantly faster than the last team, I think. Nope, about the same. All right. Well, I'll try to speed up, but 5 might be a little... Since I didn't have the ideas coming in, 5 might be a little too... 5 might be a few too many. I might only build 4. We'll see. Or maybe I'll only build 3. You know what? We'll only build 3. So for this last one then, I think for this last one I want to build something spikeless, since the last two were both had a spiker. I think something spikeless would be good. I've been using a lot of Venuzard recently, but I think I want to stray away from that. In favor of maybe like a Fizz Off. I'm not really sure. Well, let's think. So if we put on, honestly, like Tar Arrow. If I go like Tar Arrow Fighter. What fighter do I want? Tar Arrow Loom Zard. Rock resist. It's not too bad. Tar Arrow Loom Zard Rachi. I want this rock resist to also be a water resist now is the thing. Well, how can we solve this? We can solve this by dropping Arrow for Starmie. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, I should really... Okay, good. I did switch it. Yeah, I'm gonna go check all my abilities now, just in case. Alright, cool. I think this is pretty cool if it's Suitar. And then instead of Starmie, how about Suicune? And then we have two like kind of fake rock resists, and then the third one needs to be a real, like, doesn't have to be the sturdiest rock resist. I might like double water here actually. Double water with beat up Zard is probably fine. It needs to be focus punch Pert though. Yep, okay, this is okay. This gives us enough of a... I guess it doesn't need to be focus punch Pert, but it would be helpful. I'm gonna make this beat up Zard for sure. Beat up Zard. This set is my favorite Zard set by a wide margin. This set is so good at doing literally anything you need it to. Beat up, using it in the early game and landing beat up on Bliss is such a powerful feeling. I need something like decently fast though, I think, right? Well, the main issue right now is like Starmie, right? So instead of Coon, I could put on like, this could be funny. Like, I don't want to use meta again though. I've used meta the last two. I think Focus Bird is fine. I think this could be a really funny structure if it's like Turbo Milo, right? And then you still need to be defensively invested though, is the thing. If it's like off Milo, it's a little, I don't know, that could be weird. It's a water that sits at like a weird speed tier, which is what's cool about it offensively, I think. And it's bulky enough for the most part that it still manages to check things like Mixments, which this team in general has some trouble doing, I would say. I can also put Rock Slide on this if I'm feeling a little Fire Weak, but I kind of am right now. Put Rock Slide over Claw and then add. And then we add Milo as our offensive water. That's not the worst thing I've ever heard. Sure. Why not? This would really like a spinner now, actually. Maybe over Rachi, we put on a Clay Doll. Well, I mean, at that point, why not just Rachi Doll at that point, you know? Yeah, this looks much better. Clay Doll gives us a nice buffer into Arrow. Psychic, Earthquake, and Explosion. Rachi is probably going to be sub-CM. We'll come back to that. Loom is going to be... Do I want it to be... Well, actually, hold on. I can be this. Spore, Leech, Focus, Sub. I like this set a lot. And then this can be Fizztar, which is pretty cool. Because that actually, if I show them Loom, it lets me bluff Special Tar. Like, I can switch Special Tar in and out. It lets me bluff that. I'm gonna leading with Loom here is pretty cool, I think, for that reason. It also forces the issue versus all like non-Mence leads, and then versus Mence you just pivot through your Clay Doll, and it's fine. Yeah, that's okay. And then not banded. Bandpert is pretty funny though. Okay, so I think this Rachi is pretty solidly, it's either going to be like a mixed Rachi, like sub freaking dynamic punch bullshit, which I don't like that set at all, or it's going to be sub CM, which I like a lot more here. Ice, I think I need Ice Bolt for sure. It's either that or we use this as a Pert Chipper and we make it T-Bolt Grass. I don't mind it as a Pert Chipper, honestly. The thing is though, the rest of this team beats the shit out of Pert, so it's not, besides the Tar, so it's really not that big of an issue, right? Pump, Quake, Ice Beam, Protects. I think that's fine as long as the Pert is faster than Bliss, right? It's either that or I make it focus. Well, I have these two as well. I can make it focus. It's fine. I can make it focus and feel okay. Okay, so we're gonna run a little bit of special attack, a little more than I normally would, actually, around 64. I think we'll run max HP still, of course. 44. And then I don't need to run for the relaxed. You want to hit generally I like to hit around. That's a lot of speed actually. I like to hit around 48 speed invest. 48 speed invest is good, I think, because it allows for you to outspeed most blisses, and it allows for you to outspeed other minus speed parts and minus speed tars if those exist. If you run into one, it allows you to beat it. I'm gonna actually drop my. Yeah, I want a little bit more. You don't need to be able to take grasses. It's fine. Just invest in special attack. It's cool. People are going to love you later if you do that. I'm gonna do that actually. No real reason for that. It's just like a little. Generally around this amount, like the 250 to 270 range is fine. And then you can go a lot on special attack as well. And then Earth Focus into EQ should, for the most part, kill if you're faster than Bliss. If you hit it on the switch, it should, for the most part, kill. Part of the reason why I like this Loom set, speaking of which, is because Loom, for the most part, is super owned by like Gengar and Mence, and this can solo like all of those, and it's super cool. I like Stun Loom as well for that reason, but Stun is kind of hard to fit on this set because you want Spore Seed Focus, and you really do want Sub as well, but it's not like necessary, I suppose, but it's really helpful. Mono Focus can get a little unwieldy sometimes, but this thing can just solo games on occasion. What do we need to do though? Do we need it to be like... it would be really helpful, honestly. If I was Focus Sky, that would be good, I think. Or Focus Brick Break. Yeah, Focus Brick Break would be good, especially on lead. Yeah, Focus Brick Break would be good. Subsea Loom is good. I think I'm gonna switch it though, right? No, Spore Seed is I'll make this stun, yeah. Because with if Gar is paralyzed at the very least, I can take advantage of it. Nah, I'm switching back. Eerie Impulse, huh? I think I would like a Mon that can spread paralysis in the back with this though, but I can also replace this, right? Like, what happens if I replace this with, say, Venusaur? What happens if I do that? Team gets fucking cool is what happens, actually. But, I think Venu is a potential replacement. It just does the same thing, but it's faster. Doesn't blank into Gengar either. It's still owned by it, but it doesn't blank into it. The other option is like, I could make this Sutar, and I could make this Sutar, but I think I also what else could I do? I like the 6 the way it is. I'm just like not big on Loom here, I think. What other fighting types are there that I can check out quickly? I mean, I know what they are. I just want to like visualize them. So the options are like Blaziken is a no. Yama's a little too slow, so the option is like Heracross, I guess. Hera doesn't look like the worst thing ever here. Hera actually looks pretty good. Especially if it's that Thief set, actually. Stealing like Gengar's leftovers is so cool. Making like Gengar or DD-Mens take Sand Chip. The nice thing is this also forces Chip on. Yeah, I'm actually gonna make it that I'm gonna make it that Thief set, I think. So it'll be Thief, Rock Slide, Mega Horn, and I usually run Focus. Yeah, Focus Punch. It's fine. Mega Horns, you're clicking to most things anyway. I forget the exact spread, so I'm gonna go grab it quickly. Where the fuck is this team? It's in here somewhere. Here we go. Shout out to Johnny GT, by the way. If you ever watch this video, this team is one of my favorites. It got me through. I placed okay in seasonal, and so I don't want to be here. I want to be here. And that team got me through many rounds of that. Very cool, very cool team. I appreciate it a lot. So, I think I will be leading with Tyranitar here. I know, as sad as it is to say. Zard is of course just gonna be max timid. I don't even need to be that. I can just be minus attack. Nothing matters. Tar will be DD, Rock Slide. This team is still just a little bit like Bliss Week. It's a little bit Fat Week is what it is, even with a spinner. DD Taunt could be good here. We're fine into Celebi, so I'm free to use my flex slot on DD Tar on whatever I want, I think. So I think I will run DD Taunt here. DD Taunt allows you to beat the shit out of Blissey. It allows you to run a little bulkier Tar. So you can also outspeed Dugtrio. Actually, you know what? I have a better idea. Since I'm not using this as a perk chipper, let's run this. Okay. Let's run Double Edge. DD Degetar is super fire. I love DD Degetar. We're just gonna make it jolly. That makes it so you don't have to drop your special attack at all. Okay, so I need spreads for how many Pokemon? I need spreads for Claydol and I need spreads for Jirachi. We have a pretty offensive pert, so I think I want to run this doll a little bulkier. I like outspeeding things a lot with doll. I like 244 speed at the very least on Claydol. Like bare minimum 244. Like that's could be okay. That is probably also fine. This is probably okay, I think. Yeah, that's probably fine. It does what I want it to, I think. Pert can handle most things. Heracross as a nice special blanket is also nice here. It's still a little Starmie weak. What can I do to alleviate that? I made this Rock Slide, right? Rock Slide is good, actually. Rock Slide is good. What can I do to alleviate the Starmie weakness? I can add an actual water resist. That would be pretty smart. Or I could switch this Rachi set to I could switch this to Asta, honestly. Asta lets me play a long game with this team. That could be pretty cool. Like Wish, Fire Punch, Toxic, Protect is my favorite, but that also Body Slam might be better. I think Body Slam is better for the pacing of this team. So in that case, I think the standard Asta spread is like what I want this to do. I want this to be especially bulky, right? So this is the standard Astarachi spread versus Starmie. This takes no types of damage versus any of that and does a significant amount of, well, it does a little bit back. It's fine though, because we wish teched on this for days. I think I'm just gonna make this standard. I should live just about anything. 180, 76, and we'll make it, I think Sassy is the nature that it had. Yeah, Sassy is good. Sassy is good. Okay. This also helps Rock Resist. Paras the arrow. I might honestly consider running Thunderbolt in this slot over B-Slam. No, B-Slam makes you super owned by Pert, and that's a little annoying. Okay, so that's this team. I'm gonna call this Astarachi offense. And yeah, so these three they're pretty quick builds. They're not really tested, but I think they can be pretty cool. I think how long have I been recording for? An hour? I think that's good enough. Well, either way, these are just three like ideas I had on the spot that I just decided to build up. I don't know, I just kind of felt like recording this, and it ended up going an hour because I'm not good at building quickly, but it is I think it's good to be able to build quickly, but I think it's also good to allow yourself time to flesh the ideas out. I don't know that these are necessarily like this team. I don't know how I feel about any of them yet. I need to play with them to really realize that. I'm still not super good at visualizing like lines in the builder, that's just something I'm working on. But in any event, if anyone bothers to watch this, I hope that it was an enjoyable time for you. I hope that if you're maybe newer, you learned a little bit about building. I hope that if you're a veteran of the scene, this didn't offend you too badly. And I hope that in the meantime, I might do another one of these at some point. I might also just upload some coverage of some of my tournament games that are coming up soon. We'll see. But yeah, in the meantime, hopefully y'all have a good rest of your day or whatever the fuck time it is. And yeah, I'll see y'all sometime soon.